So, in the previous lesson, we talked about wanting and why I handle it slightly differently from the conventional Sedona method, simply because my experience of that has been so different from the teachers of the method. But the bit of the Sedona method that I really love is how we divide up wanting into wanting security, wanting approval, wanting control, and also wanting separation and oneness. But I'll cover the first three for this video. So I'll just explain a bit more about each one of them. So wanting security, what's that? Wanting to feel safe, wanting to survive. I just want safety. So sometimes I'm just walking along the street and I just think, I'd love to be safe right now. Particularly if you're nervous or you've got something ahead of you. It's this wanting to be in a place where everything's safe and secure and certain. So that's wanting security, wanting safety, wanting security, wanting certainty. Oh, I can feel it now. But there's another side to that. Because one of the principles we use here, which is possibly one of the most helpful, is that we acknowledge that if you're wanting something, you're probably also not wanting it. So what's the flip side of wanting security? Is wanting to destroy, wanting to end it all, wanting to give up. And my God, that is absolutely very easy for me to find. I remember when I very first listened to the Sedona Method tapes, when Hale said you were allowed to want to give up, I was like, thank God for that. Because so much of self-help, you've got to be different from that. You've got to, you've got to be ambitious. You've got to do this, you've got to do that. And it just makes me depressed, actually. So when somebody says, could you allow yourself to just want to give up, want to destroy? It's like, yeah, I can feel that. And so we do both sides, like so many of the process here. Can you welcome wanting security, wanting to be safe, wanting things to be certain? Can you also just allow yourself to want to give up, destroy? Just get rid of it. And so the next one we'll talk about is wanting approval, which is wanting to be liked, wanting to be loved. Oh God, we all want that, right? So we wanting somebody's approval. It could be a complete stranger. It's strangers on social media. We want their approval. I want to feel loved. I want to feel liked. And even people I don't know very well. It's always subtly there. I just want their approval. I want them to like me. And of course, there's a flip side to that. It's that if I think I'm not going to get someone's approval, I'm going to want their disapproval. My ex-employers would tell you that was pretty active if they remember me. So often when I think I'm not going to get approval, I want disapproval. So that's the other side. It's like, sod you then. See if I care. I'll show you. And so then you're trying to pretend you want their disapproval. And sometimes you really do. It doesn't actually really matter whether you really do or really don't. It's purely about welcoming that sense of wanting disapproval. And other times we want to approve of somebody or we want to disapprove of somebody. I really want to like people more than I do a lot of the time. It's a bit embarrassing, but true. And sometimes I really want to dislike somebody more than I do. Yeah, it's very busy. So let's just do that very quickly. So could you welcome any sense of wanting somebody's approval, wanting to be loved, wanting to be liked, even wanting the world to approve of you, give you what you want? So could you just welcome wanting to be liked, And if it's available to you, could you welcome wanting to be disliked, disapproved of? Wanting to be rejected, excluded from things because you don't like them. And could you allow yourself to want to like people more than you do? Could you just allow yourself all of that wanting around approval, love, and liking? And then the next one we're going to look at is wanting control. We often don't think I want control of that. It often comes out as a lot of analysis. We think if we analyze something, particularly when it comes to our emotional lives, we think if we analyze something enough, we'll get control of it. Or if we can find the reason why it exists, we'll get control of it. Like if I could just remember what happened to me when I was little, I won't suffer anymore. I'll have control of my emotions. Now, that's never happened. I've certainly enjoyed analysing it, but I've never had any more control as a result of it, because insight very rarely leads to changes of behaviour. So just in this moment, just welcome any and all sense of wanting to control anything in your environment, including yourself. Wanting to control the outcome of something, wanting to understand something. It's not anti-intellectual. Of course, we love understanding things, we're curious people. But sometimes it can be used to try and get control of something we don't actually have control of. So just welcome any and all sense you have right now of wanting control of things, wanting to understand them, wanting to analyze them into non-existence. And just allow that to be here, however that is for you right now. And then this one has another interesting aspect, which is wanting to be controlled by something. Most people will say, I don't want to be controlled by things. But then when we look into it, often it's quite a surprise. So could you welcome anything you're wanting to be controlled by right in this moment? It could be a member of your family, could be money, could be the economy, could be crazes in the White House, elsewhere. Could you welcome any and all sense of wanting to be controlled? And that manifests itself as things like, well, there's nothing I can do. This is just it. This is just it. It's that kind of, it's that kind of feeling. But underneath it, you'll find there's a wanting to be controlled by a situation, wanting to be limited by it, maybe wanting to use it as an excuse. And again, we don't negotiate with this. We don't overthink it. We just think, does it feel a little bit like that for me? And does acknowledging that bring a release? If it doesn't, forget it. So just allowing any wanting to be controlled by things. And then, of course, there's the wanting to be out of control. So, I have no control anyway. I'll just let it happen. No choice. I think that might happen with, I've eaten too much already. I may as well have some more. Yeah, I can't make myself work harder. I can't make myself focus. So I'm just not going to bother. I'm just going to be out of control. Fuck it. It's a bit like that. So there's wanting to lose control, which is what a lot of us do. As soon as you go out socialize, you just think, sod it, I just do what I like now. It's that. And again, it's just welcoming it. It's like, yeah, I want to lose control. Welcome, allow. Whatever works. So that's wanting. It's a great topic. There's a lot of freedom to be had by welcoming, wanting, allowing, wanting, just doing, undoing, unwanting, because it's a real pile of shit for me, and I think it is for a lot of people I work with. So we spend time on undoing it and loosening it and releasing ourselves from a lot of tension. So thank you for your attention. Thank you.